action of the BBL Central.
Yes, here we are again, BBL Central Podcast, up here for the penultimate round of the season. It's head-to-head finals week, and here we go. I've got all the crew with me. What a crazy week that was. I can tell you right now, for all those people that follow how the beasts are going, I thought I had a shit week, but somehow I got green arrows and I somehow had a good week compared to everyone else. That's how bad the week just was. So if you're disappointed how you went, strap yourselves in, have a listen, and just take solace in the fact that you're not as bad as these next two people probably were. How you going there, Rossco?
Oh, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there, Brad. It was an absolute shit round. It's got a 639. It just all went pear-shaped. Like with that washout yesterday, I was at that game, very, very frustrated that the game didn't go ahead. I sat there before the game started going, okay, I've got Aaron Hardy sitting on my bench. Do I swap him out for Joel Davies or for Jack Edwards? And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the weather. I'm like, the weather's all right. I don't think they'll get much rain. It'll still be on. And of course, didn't do it. Cost me 80 points in the end by not doing that swap out. Then I had some other shit scores in there. McDermott for 28, Chris Jordan for 17, Sandu for 11. And, to make things worse, two of my trade outs this week were Sam Harper and Mitch Marsh, who both scored 130 points. So all in all, dropped down 1,200 spots to 28.61, which is not ideal because I was really close to that top 1,000. So very disappointing, but onwards and upwards. But let's see how we go this round because I think this is the make or break round, especially for head-to-head finals and for your overall players as well.
Yeah, mate, that's I feel for you because it was really. I mean, as you know, I captained short. And it was only luck. I mean, that's it. This game is so volatile, BBL.
But can I just say something just quickly? Sorry to cut you off, but this is exactly why you always take the VC loop for that reason. Like there would have been a lot of people who'd have gone, okay, Matt Short only got the 13 in the first game. Let's captain, say, Cooper Connolly or whoever it might have been, for example, and then look how that worked out. I mean, the bloke's way out of form and then Short comes out and I think he gets 120 points in the second game. So this is exactly why we say. I mean, you didn't have a choice, Brad, because you straight captain Matt Short. But
straight captain in bugger.
I know there was a few people out there who had the VC on Short and didn't take his score from the first game. So, last night that just proves exactly why we do these things. And, it certainly makes it easy, like you said, when you straight captain someone. I had the VC on Overton, and I was pretty happy with his score after the first game and took it, but then it was pretty average in the second game. Didn't bowl well. Only got one run or whatever it was with the bat, so very disappointing. But that's Supercoach. That's why we play this game, and because we know it frustrates the shit out of us. And here we are. We've only got a couple more rounds to go, and then we'll be starting to get ready for NRL.
Which a lot of people are already saying, bring on the NRL.
Yeah, I know Bigger Stickers is pretty keen to bring on the NRL because he's not having a great season. So shout out to Biggers.
G'day, Dickus. If you are out there, I'm sure you're going to be joining us soon, as you sometimes are likely to. And Tim, how was your week? Was it about as good as Rossco's was?
I think it was halfway between you two. 714, basically anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong. I had the VC on Short, but I had the captaincy on Joel Davies. I just wanted to do something a little bit different to try and catch up, and he's been in form. So, unfortunately, didn't bat, didn't bowl, didn't do anything, but walked on the pitch and got a big fat duck egg. So, double duck eggs, unfortunately, and not even thinking when I looked at it, opened the app and went, oh yeah, okay, that's okay, he didn't play, so then I'll get Short score looped, and then Mitch Owen come in off my emergency bench. So unfortunately, none of that worked. I left about 250 points on my bench, and two blokes that didn't play, including a captain. So
what happened? What happened in that? So Mitch, Joel Davies, who you had the captaincy on,
Yep.
he doesn't play, so he gets a DNP. So the emergency.
No, he doesn't get a DNP.
No, because
he
because the game went ahead. It was more than 5 overs, and he walked on the pitch. So if he was injured,
but doesn't he get a DNP because he had no score whatsoever?
They get a 0. Once the game starts, it's a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it did, then you would have been in trouble because I would have passed you in our head-to-head. But yeah, anyway, such is life. Two scores of 0, one being a captain and one being someone else. And yeah, I think I had a handful. Well, not even a handful. The only really poor scores that I had was I think Sam's and Jordan. The rest all scored pretty well. So my team itself isn't too bad, and the squad as a whole was pretty good. But just unfortunately, the right guys didn't go in. So, and I was out of the mix. So, I mean, it probably wouldn't have made any difference in the end anyway. But I was not online and paying too much attention. I was busy doing family stuff. So, the weather wouldn't have made much difference to me in the long run anyway.
All right. Well, folks, for those that don't know, this week we have a double round for the Renegades. And we have a bye for Sydney, but Sydney have the double next week. So, personally, I would highly consider benching your Sydney players until next week. But there is weather issues floating around. We're not really going to go to news this week. The only news we have, I think, Rossco, is Doggett has an injury.
Yeah, Doggett's got a hamstring tightness, so he won't be playing for the Renegades this round. So he'll be out. I'd say most likely he won't probably play possibly any more games, maybe before the finals. So he's out of the squad and being replaced in the squad by Andrew Ty.
Personally, he looked like dog shit anyway.
He bowled really bad. He was absolutely terrible. So whether maybe he did get injured in the game, but again, they kept bowling him. It's like last night when the strikers kept bowling buddy Luke Wood and Hassan Ali, despite the fact they were getting hammered all over the place, and then not bowling Jamie Overton overs either. So certainly frustrating as an owner, that's for sure.
All right, so Timmy, you're the draw man. There's your draw that's up there. Run us through. Should we be selling as many Hurricanes as we can?
Yeah, look, the time has come. They've only got one game over the next 2 rounds. So I think it's time to start ditching some of your Hurricanes, especially some of the guys that haven't been performing. Chris Jordan, I've had him since the start, unfortunately. And, yeah, he's sitting around that 80K mark and not really worth trading in or out or doing anything with him. It's that's the problem now, that he just hasn't made enough money to do anything with. Would be a straight sideways trade if you haven't got Jason Behrendorff. So that would be a plus. Unfortunately, I bought Dorff in last week. So, yeah, bit of a head scratcher there. Look, there is some players who have been in and out of form throughout the tournament from the Hurricanes. So guys like Chowdhury and Mitch Owen started to hit some form late on in the tournament, so probably coming in at the right time. Matty Wade, somebody else who I've had basically since the start, sitting at around about 100K. So, yeah, I will probably keep 3 of those 4, and then the others will obviously go out next week.
Yeah. All right. G'day, Biggest. Biggest is in us. He's joined us. We'll see. We're not necessarily expecting a huge amount of people today, I will admit. We've just plonked ourselves on. I didn't even send it around many chats to say we were coming on, but yeah, it's a very short turnaround. Get your teams ready for tonight. And, well, we really got to consider something. I've got a new character here which we're going to throw up. Let's got to say g'day to this fella.
Bad weather? What's that? You are all pussies. I play even in cyclones.
Oh, that's bad weather koala. He's our latest character to join the team. All right, so bad weather koala is is it possibility of maybe of rain tonight, Rossco? Well, what's the go?
There is some possibility of rain for the game tonight. We've already had some rain in Sydney earlier today, but there is some rain forecast around about 9 p.m. for the game tonight. I don't know what to trust anymore because they also said there wasn't going to be much rain yesterday for the Sydney Sixers game, and then the whole thing got washed out, barred 5 overs. So I really don't know what to believe anymore, but I think old mate Weatherman's going to be pretty relevant for the next couple of rounds. So there's that game that's got a bit of rain floating around, but there's also rain predicted for the Wednesday game down at Hobart for the Hurricanes and the Heat game as well. Yeah, so that could be a bit of a concern. There's not much there. It's not looking like much at the moment, but certainly something to keep an eye on. And we'll definitely talk about the last round when we do our last podcast for that one, because there's also some rain floating around to affect a couple of games that start on Friday as well for last round.
Well, see, that adds more weight to the fact you should be ditching off your Hurricanes as fast as you friggin' well can.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in the trade and trade outs, but like I don't understand why you've got 4 of the 5 top traded out are all Sixers players who are on a double next round. So to me, it makes no sense. I'm offloading my Hurricanes first, just for the reason that the weather's an issue and they have to buy the last round. However, it is very hard to offload some of them, as Tim said, because of their price. Because I've got Jordan, who's only about 80K. I've got McDermott, who's only about 69K. Like, there's no one, and unless you've got cash in the bank, there's really no one to trade them to, like, that's half decent. But again, we'll talk about it in the trade in and trade outs. But there's guys that you can swap them to bring in. But these guys are that price for a reason, because they're not in form. And they're just, so I don't know. It's very tough. So, but yeah, anyway, we'll definitely talk about that. But yeah, they're saying about 3 mils maybe for the game on Wednesday. I don't know how much they're saying for tonight, but there is some rain floating around.
Oh, geez. We've waited all season for these ugly washout games to have an impact, and boy, haven't they had an impact. Joey, g'day, Joey. He's joined us. By the way, Joey, over the last couple of podcasts, we've I'm not sure. I think we found Timmy's brother, mate. You might want to comment on this, Joey.
But have we found him? I don't think we've found him yet. He's still missing, isn't he?
Or is that Tim? Is that where Tim has been? Is Tim been like down the ACT and now you want it down there, Tim?
He's rocking that mullet for sure.
I haven't got enough hair. It can't be me.
Mate, it's a spitting image. What are you talking about? Oh.
He just needs a mullet and he'll be good to go.
But give us your thoughts, Joey. There he was. Oh, geez, it's scary. All right. Now, so should we go just straight to the trades then and discuss them? I mean, we don't have a lot of news. We've really discussed already that Renegades are who you want to be sort of targeting, we think. All right. So we might, gents, if anybody wants to bring it up, I've got it brought up. But
I've got it up. Yeah, I'm happy to go through the trade outs, and then one of you guys can go in the trade ins or something. So
all right, shoot, give us your trade outs.
We'll go through the list, and then we'll have a quick chat on some of them, because there's a couple there that I'm not really keen on, and interested to see what you guys think.
Yep.
So we start at the top: Jack Edwards, Josh Philippi, Jamie Overton, Joel Davies, Ben Gorsuch, Nathan Ellis, Chris Jordan, Cooper Conley, Ben McDermott, Sean Abbott. So you've got 5 Sixers players there who are on a double next round. We'll just quickly chat in a group about the Sixers players. To me, it does not make any sense at all, because I'm setting them up as perfect opportunity for bench loops as well. So these guys will all be on my field, and then, using them as a bench loop. And if they don't do well, I can potentially, make some other trades, and then I'm not forced to play those guys as well. Even some of the Renegades players that I've potentially bringing in, I don't even know if I'm going to put them straight on the field or just set them as a bench loop just to see how they go. What do you guys think? I know, Brad, you had a pretty strong opinion on this.
Oh, I think it's crazy. I don't get why you would be trading out players like Jack Edwards. Jack Edwards has been a game winner, proven game winner so far this year in numerous rounds, not just one round, but numerous rounds. So why you would trade him out, that doesn't make any sense to me. Josh Philippi, oh, man, if you've learned anything about looping, you should be holding Josh Philippi. It's a perfect opportunity with all these wicket keepers running around. Shit, there's 2 wicket keepers in the States team. We could use either one or both or whatever you want. So Josh Philippi would be ideal to use as your bench sleeping opportunity, either in your batting or your keeping. Like it's just, I'm with you. I don't understand those two. Joel Davies, it's been I think it's all luck. I think it's crazy. I don't think he's that good, but it's been my downfall at a couple of times this year. Not to consider him. You should be holding him. For God's sake, it cost you 60 grand to start. Man, just hold him. It costs you no money. Ben Dwarshuis, you're going to want him. If they're going to play 2 games, even if they're rain short games, you're going to want him. Nathan Ellis, I agree with. Chris Jordan, of course, we'll discuss that. Anybody who's a Hurricane, you can ditch. Piss them off. Cooper Connolly. Oh, jeez. The guy
I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm not doing it, but if it comes down to next round, because I like a lot of other people, are going to be jumping on Steve Smith. Just going to bring him in. Just non-negotiable for me. I mean, I'm just going to do it. And so you're going to need some cash from someone to get to him, but that could be Sandu to him as well after their double too. So yeah, look, he's not in great batting form at all, but he's certainly holding up his bargain end with the fielding and his bowling. I certainly think that I would be holding on to him, and I would actually be trading out Jamie Overton over Cooper Connolly, just for the fact that Overton's batting around about that 6 or 7. We've also seen the last 2 games he's played that he hasn't bowled 3 overs, which is bloody frustrating, especially as an owner from that first game when he had like 2 for 12 off 2 overs. I had him set up for the VC loop, and then they don't go and bowl him a 3rd over. So it's definitely frustrating, but I definitely think that Overton is a sell over Cooper Connolly.
Overton, definitely being underutilised. He's 6'6". He has bowled the fastest balls in BBL so far this year, believe it or not. 150 Ks an hour. He hit the other night. Nobody has gone close. There have been a couple getting near it, but Overton, he's had a real lease of life. But, considering they virtually have no pace attack there, they really need somebody who can bowl a fast ball. Sorry?
No, I was just going to say, he's probably been the quickest in the comp up there with young Tom Balkin from the Heat as well. He's been up there around about that sort of mark too in speed as well. So, yeah.
Joey says, lads, I'm all on the Renegades board this week. Sandu, Rooster, Fraser McGurk, we know who Rooster is, and Josh Brown. Wow, he's gone a pod move there with Fraser McGurk. I can't knock anything anybody does this week, really, apart from trading out Sixers players. But if you're going to choose Fraser McGurk, if that's what's going to win you your head-to-head, it might well. Who am I to knock it? It could be a masterstroke. Playing head-to-head.
I think come tonight when we have a bit more variety of people making their trades. I don't think he's really going to be a pod. He's 7th most traded in at the moment, and I think at his price, a lot of people are probably going to be getting rid of some of their cheap Hurricanes players to bring him in, but we'll talk about him in a minute because I'm not keen.
All right, so Timmy, just on the trade outs, just one last one. You're ditching all your hope. We know you had about 9 Hobart players. Are you getting rid of them?
Look, at this stage, mate, I'll probably only drop 2. I don't know. At this stage, I just think Mitch Owen just started to hit some form in the last game. I think he's probably got too much potential to drop, especially at that price range. And then the other one I've got is Matty Wade. So just the fact that I can flick in between. At the moment, I've only got 2 keepers, 2 wicket keepers, that is. So just the fact that I can flick between him and Harper is pretty helpful at the moment. I may bring in Timmy Seyfert, and we'll see how that goes.
No, interesting. All right, now we get to
just quickly, Brad. Just one more thing too. Just while I'm on it, there is just something else to keep an eye on too. Is Hurricanes bowlers potentially getting managed for this round coming up too? They just arrested Nathan Ellis from the game yesterday. They've pretty much got a top 2 spot lock now. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone doesn't also could affect like your Rolly Meredith. I don't know if they'll do Chris Jordan, but Meredith could be up for a rest this game. So just something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, they won't risk Chris Jordan. He's done nothing.
No. Not since the first game when it was when he took the 5 far. That was about the only time. Yeah.
Dear. All right, the trade-ins, we'll get to these. And number 1, Hussein Khan. Are we all getting him?
Already got him.
I've had him a couple of rounds already. So
I got him last round. Yeah.
What about you, Tim?
I'm not yet, but I haven't done my trades yet. I'm working through them as we speak.
Josh Brown. Now, Josh Brown, wow, 160-odd thousand, so he's very expensive. He's a very Chris Lynn-like kind of player. Munro, there's a few other swashbuckling lunatics that just like to swing and ding at everything and anything. So you get what you get. High ceiling, low floor. Am I about right, Ross, on that?
I think so, yeah. But in saying that, geez, I tell you what, we talked earlier, as I said, Brad, about how important this round can be for head-to-head finals and also your overall. He could be that player that's make or break with the form he's in, right? He's in such good form at the moment that if you don't own him, you're in trouble. And if he goes big, this is the thing. And your opponents have him, well, you're already playing catch-up after the first game. So I'm on the fence. I'm finding it very hard to bring him in at the moment. Just paying that much money for a bat only. It's like I know Biggest won't like me saying this, but I actually talked him out of buying Josh Brown about 2 rounds ago when he was only about 80K.
Oh.
So and now look how he's going. So look, there's a reason. Look, everyone's obviously following the trend and bringing him in with the second most traded in, but by God, he's not cheap. But again, you know, as we go through these options for the Renegades of who to trade in, there really isn't a lot here that I like at all. So I think you've either just got to do it or you don't do it. It's going to be a pod play not going him. You know, because obviously 15% have traded him in this round already, and you'll have people who haven't done their trades yet. So I'm expecting him to maybe the highest traded in potentially when it comes to about 7 o'clock. Because he's only just behind Hassan Khan as the most traded in.
Indeed. Number 3 on the list is Will Sutherland. Now, I personally am big on Will Sutherland. He's had the pedigree. He's very, very good. Yes, he's been having a bit of a tight run of lately. His scores this year, of late, he's got a 42, a 63, a 64. And his price has dipped because of the last week's score where he got a lonely 6. But if you take the 3 scores before that, all extremely acceptable. At 125K, I think you've got to do it. Tim, what do you reckon of that one? Have you got a thought on that?
Yeah, look, I'm all for it, mate. He's definitely one of the guys that I will be bringing in, without a doubt. So, yeah, I just think he's a high-ceiling player. He was one of the highest scoring players in the comp last season. Although I think you've just got to run it. I guess he's a bit like Josh Brown. If you don't jump on him and he goes off, like it's game over. So it's and that's probably a little bit of an issue with some of the Renegades. They really haven't been in form. They started the tournament really poorly. But yeah, I think they've got some of the highest ceiling players in the comp. And yeah, I don't know. I think you've just got to go them.
Yeah, indeed. I was just laughing at a comment from Biggest. He reckons he still is in love with Rossco. I wouldn't be. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Biggest, you're very kind man. Matt Knight, he says, hey, boys, with looking at the looking like possible rain in a few other games as well this week, do we just bring in Renegades anyway with their second game locked underneath the roof at Marvel Stadium? You bring up a fantastic point. That's why I put it in there now. I think you're 100% right. Even if it's a rain-affected game tonight, there is a slight chance of late rain, which means we are going to see a good portion of some overs being bowled. So look to see who's bowling first tonight and who's batting first before you do that last trade. Yeah. But that's a great point that you make there, Matt. I think that's fantastic, man.
I think he's dead. He's dead on the money about that. I think the toss is very, very that's why I haven't traded yet, because I want to see what's happening with the toss first. and just see what the weather's doing before I make a decision on what I'm going to do. Because I mean, I don't really want to be loading up on Renegades and then the game gets washed out. Definitely depends on who does what. You know, providing the toss gets in before lockout happens at 7:15, of course. So, yeah, no, very good point.
The fact that they definitely have that second game, though, which is a lock and load, means that we don't have to worry. So,
no, I just don't think that. You probably just don't want to go too heavy, though. Still, like I think like 4's probably enough. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think 4's enough. Yeah.
No.
We want to go any more than. I don't think I want to go any more than 4.
Now, this next one does surprise me. Tim Seaforth at a number 4. And then why it surprises me is the bloke who's actually getting fielding points and is also rather cheap, or he's 111, is Rizwan. So Seaforth is number 4. I guess it's 78,000. Whereas the keeper who actually is getting a better average and a better lot of points is 111, is down at 9th traded. What are your thoughts, boys?
Well, I think that's probably purely because of the price point. I think you'll find a lot of guys are getting rid of their cheap Hurricanes players and just going straight to Seifert. I'd say that would probably be the reason why he's so high as it is. I'm just having a quick look now to see. Mind you, though. Mind you, here we go. So the top 3 traded out to bring in Tim Seifert is Jack Edwards, Ben Dwarshuis, and Nathan Ellis.
Cuckoo.
Yeah. So unless they're using that cash elsewhere to bring in to bring in Josh Brown or something like that, I don't understand why you would be going Jack Edwards to Tim Seifert. I mean, why would you just not do a straight swap of Chris Jordan or one of those other guys even to him instead? But yeah, I'm on the fence with him. I'm not sure on him yet, just because he's so cheap, because I can do that straight swap from one of my cheaper Hurricanes players. But I'm really not sure. I mean, other than that 100 he scored the first game, he's looked really bad.
Yeah.
But also so has a couple others on here too that we're going to speak about in a minute.
I mean, Rizwan, his last 3 games are 71, a 51, a 21. Yeah. The 21 was because I think he got a 1 point for a run, and he had 2 catches behind. So, and that's his benefit. At least he gets those fielding points, which Seaforth is in a real bad non-catching position most of the time. So he's getting virtually nothing out of fielding. Not like he's down at long off or anything else like that, getting involved.
If cash is not an issue, you go with one for sure for me. But if cash is an issue, I think you have to go. I think, as I said, I think that's why a lot of people are going there, because they need the cash. They just need a cheap option.
Yeah. Now, next one is Gurinder Sandhu at 166,000. Tim, does he tickle your fancy?
Look, I think he's one of the safer bowlers in that Renegade side. So, look, I can understand that one. I don't know. He's not going to find his way into my team. I just can't make it work. But I can understand why people are doing it. I think he's probably the safest one in the squad.
100% I'd agree with that. Do you agree that he's probably the one Renegade fast bowler that is probably definitely going to get the 2 games in, Ross?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I think him and Berendorf are probably the 2 safe ones, who we'll talk about in a minute. I bought Sandhu in last round after he went, 2 lots of 4 wickets in a row, and then stunk it up and bowled rubbish the last game and only got 11 points. But I'm still happy. Look, I've made some money out of him still, so I'm not sort of too concerned about that. But I just went early because I didn't want to have to pay more for him, because if he had another big game, he could have been close to 180, 190K had he gone big again. So I was happy to run that risk, and he dropped out as my lowest score anyway, so I'm not sort of too – actually, no, he didn't because of the duck eggs from the Sixers games. But, look, it's a lot to pay, isn't it? But I'd certainly rather pay that sort of money for a bowler against a batter, though.
Well, that leads you into number 6, Jason Berendorf. I personally am a bit worried. That's I think any of the fast bowlers outside of Sandhu, I'm sort of a bit worried about. That's only because Andrew Ty's back bowling in grade cricket. Fergus O'Neill is still floating around the background, which you reckon is a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
There's another fast bowler
Sam
too.
Elliott as well.
Yeah, Sam Elliott. Man, it's a bit of a logjam there for that. Really, only one extra spot. If the person who's number 10 on the list, Adam Zampa, comes into the team. I personally really like Adam Zampa. Do you like a bit of spin there, Timmy?
Yeah, mate, absolutely. If he's named, I think I've got to find a way for him to come in. I think he's just history in this short game format. He's odds on. So I think if he's fit and available, surely he plays both games.
No, absolutely. Now, the only renegade who is not on this list, I think he's in at number 8, is one Carey. Ross, I'll put this question up from Aston Hope because it's relevant to Carey. I wrote up the article as per usual, and I didn't mention Carey as a potential trade-in. He said, no love for Carey, thinking of buying him over Sutherland. I think you need to put down the bowl of green stuff because really I'd pick a double game player over somebody playing for a team that's actually basically out of the running now for the final. So what do you reckon?
Well, Carey, the strikers aren't out of the running for the finals yet. I mean, the only team that's definitely out now is the Thunder.
I said basically. They're all but out, yes.
I don't know. I don't mind the trade-in. He looked good last night in that game as well, but would you trade him in over a double game player? I don't know if I would. I'm potentially going to bring him in this round, but I wouldn't have said I'm not bringing him in over a renegade though, because I'm going to probably bring 2 gades in because I've already got 2, so that gives me 4. I don't want more than that. Yeah. But would I bring him in over Sutherland? I'll probably not, mate, to be honest with you. He is opening the batting, and keeping. But again, do you go for a guy like Sutherland who's going to probably bowl 3 or 4 overs? Batting at 7's not great, but we know what he's capable of. We saw what he did in his couple of little innings there, where he got them over the line in the game against I think it was the Stars in the first game of the Derby.
Derby, we're not Americans.
Oh, whatever. But I like the Carey as a trade-in as a pod play. But again, as I said, probably not over Sutherland though.
Any love for Carey there, Tim? Don't you like our
look, he's absolutely in form. So, I mean, as far as batting form itself goes, look, I don't hate it. And obviously he'll take the gloves. And, he's just another high-standard player that's playing really well at the moment. He's in form and he loves this format. So, look, I totally get it. It's not for me just because I can't make it work. But, look, I can see a world where you do it, especially if you've already got enough renegades and you're trying to dump some hurricanes. Then I understand why.
I think if you're going to do it, I think this is the week because I think he's one of those players that you probably may want for the last round just because we're already pretty heavily invested in sixes, most of us already. You know what I mean? So, I think with a break-even of -12, if he gets 56 points, he goes up 15K. But say he gets 100 points, then you're looking at 160K for him next round if you want to bring him in.
What's he actually priced at the moment, Rossco?
132,600.
Yeah.
So he's not a bad price. But, I don't mind it. But, look, I don't know.
Hard one. Now, one we haven't spoken about was number 7 on the list, Jake Fraser McGurk, affectionately known as Rooster. Now, the Rooster, I actually flagged him as a bit of a pod play. I think if you really need to go out on a limb, he's cheap and you can have a crack, but that's about it. What do you reckon, Ross?
Well, I'm not. It's not for me, but he hasn't been in great form. He's always got starts in every game and then just played a stupid shot to get out every time. I think if you're bringing him in, you set him up as a bench loop. You don't start him on the field, right? There's the other thing I like about him too is that he's in a prominent position where he fields, so he takes a lot of catches as well because he usually finishes fields at that KR corner on the boundary position, so he does get a lot of catches. I mean, let's be honest, the Thunder attack's not great. He could do anything. If he gets in tonight, he could get a big score. But again, as I said, if you're bringing him in, I would not be starting him on the field, though. I don't have enough faith to be doing that. But I don't mind it. Again, it's a great option to swap out a Ben McDermott or a Chris Jordan or Riley Meredith or any of those guys. So, look, I think you're going to have to go for a cheaper option somewhere because you've got to get not everyone's going to have a lot of cash sitting around to make trades with. So you're going to have to probably make a call out of one of three of either Tim Seifert, Behrendorff, or Jake Fraser-McGurk.
Yeah.
Right? You're probably going to have to bring one of them in. It's just a matter of which one that you go with. You know, you look at, we'll just quickly compare the three. So you've got Dolph, who usually bowls 3 or 4 overs up front most of the time too, doesn't bowl during the power play or at the end. You've got Seifert, who opens the batting but doesn't keep. And then you've obviously got Fraser-McGurk, who come in and batted number 3 and fields in a prominent spot. So I think everyone's probably going to have one of those 3. It's just a matter of which one that you go for because let's be honest, neither of them are in form.
Yep. All right. No, that's all of the trade ins and outs.
But I do like. I know you already spoke about Adam Zampa, but I think that he will be higher up on this list if we see him named in that team tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm waiting to see. He's definitely 100% in my team if he's named. There's no doubt about that. Like,
what's Zampa priced at?
He's only at 111.
Yeah, 111 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheap for what you're getting. The only thing is he doesn't really bat, but anyway.
He's got to break even at 30, so if he has a couple of decent games, he'll go up a lot in price and you can get rid of him for next game, even if you need to, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but well, you really need 2 games under your belt to get decent price rises in this format, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, he's got 2 games.
If he's named tonight, he
yeah.
surely plays the next one as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think there's any worry about that.
No.
Yeah. No, in my situation, it'd be a straight swap pretty much for Kuhneman. And, that extra 5 or 6K is actually going to come in handy too.
Now, well, I tell you what, it's interesting that you've mentioned Kuhneman, and I hate to go back to Bad Weather Koala, but he told me earlier that Mr. Bad Weather Koala said that there's a possibility of rain for the Brisbane-Hobart game as well. Now, does this add more weight, Ross, to the fact that we should be pissing off any Hobart players and potentially any Brisbane players you got in your team stinking it up?
Yeah, well, I don't have any Heat players, and I haven't had any for a while. I think the last one I had was Wildermuth, who I sold about 3 rains ago. Look, again, it's one of those things. If you can set them up for a bench loop, if possible, maybe, and see if they end up getting on or not. They are saying it's only 3 mils over the day, or might be, or around game time. So I don't know how much it's going to affect the game or not. But I certainly wouldn't be bringing in any Heat players. I know that there was some people who were pretty keen on Matt Renshaw, and who's expensive as hell anyway at 180K. And obviously Usman was another option. I know that Bilko was looking at him too, but I just think with the weather looming the way it is, I think because you also got to remember too, you're going to bring them in this round, you might want them for the last round too. And there's also, I'll just skip ahead a few days to Sunday. There's actually looking like there's going to be thunderstorms and rain for the Heat Sixers game on Sunday as well in Brisbane. So again, it really, that's the sort of stuff you have to look at as well.
Yeah, that probably adds more weight to steering clear of anything with the Brisbane Heat attached to it. Not just because they suck, but because I can't believe they won again. It's unbelievable. I'll give them credit, right? They look like on paper, you look at them and you go, there's no way this team can win.
Hey, come on, Brad. They were only playing the Thunder, to be fair. Everyone beats the Thunder.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, Bailey's team could beat the Thunder.
A shout out to Tim's boy, Bailey. He's beaten his dad at BBL Supercoach, so we won't rub it in, but good on you, Bailey. Good on you.
No, he's doing much better than I am, little turd.
All right, as I said, that's a trade in, trade out.
You obviously don't help him with his team then.
No, he doesn't let me.
Okay.
It's about the only time I get in front of him is if he doesn't make a change before lockout. So, little sod. he asked you boys for advice before he asked me.
All right, so that is basically the news sort of covered. We do have a few questions we haven't covered yet that have come in. We might as well cover some of these. This is a nice long one from Matthew Gibson. G'day, Matt. Thank you very much for tuning in, writing in with your questions as well. With the likes of Rogers, O'Neill and Ty all back playing grade cricket over the weekend, mixed in with Doggett and Zampa back. Well, Doggett's not back, so we've put a line through him.
Yeah.
And Zampa back. Is there any concern around Sandhu's spot for the second game of the doubles? We probably have got it wrong, but I don't have a concern on Sandhu's spot because he's been one of the few that can take multiple wickets that the Renegades have. They haven't had a lot in the tank. Andrew Ty and Berendorf haven't really given them a huge amount. Although it must be said, Andrew Ty did take, I think, 5 wickets in grade cricket on the weekend. So, yeah, might be some form coming back. What do you think of Matthew's question there, Ross?
I think Sandhu's safe. I think, given he's probably one of the leading wicket takers in the compendium form, I don't see him missing out. I think, if anything, I think Berendorf's probably the one I'd be concerned about over him. I think he's probably, the only safe one.
Who's that, Andrew Ty?
No, just saying that I think that Sandhu is probably the only safe one. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sort of a bit in the same. How are you reading it, Tim? You're reading it sort of along those lines?
Yeah, look, we did talk about it earlier. Exactly right. Those two players are probably the two safer ones. I do agree that Sandhu is more locked down, I think, than what Jason Berendorf is, which is quite sad because he's been a very good bowler for a very long time. Just hasn't been this year for him since he's come over from Perth Scorchers. So, yeah, look, as I say every year, I'm president of the AJ Ty fan club. Mate, I think he's a sensational bowler and I'd love to have him out there. So the fact that he's just hit some form, I've just about put my left leg on. He will bowl in at least one of the 2 games. Just depends if you can jag him for both or not. But like we said, boys, a lot of it's going to come down to the team that gets named this afternoon. I'm not quite sure what AJ is priced at, but if he is named this afternoon, then I will probably try and find a way to get him in. I think he's sub 100K, isn't he? So somebody
I'd be worried about him playing both games, though.
Yeah,
it's not safe
right.
for me. Yeah.
No, you're right, absolutely. And it probably depends on the makeup of the team, depends on how they work things out. If it's a case of like they don't name Zampa, then yeah, I'd be a bit wary of if he's going to be fit for the next one, then maybe they drop a fast bowler to bring the spinner in for the next game. But yeah, outside of that, boys, look, I like we said, I think that the 2 that are in at the moment are probably the 2 safer ones. But yeah, I'd certainly be wary of AJ coming in at some stage.
Now, it's just a thought, but this year, I don't know if you've noticed, when we do our dissection of this year's BBL season, it's certainly been the death of fast bowlers, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in past years, all the past years, there'd be a handful of fast bowlers, whether it be Harris Rouse and a bunch of them from over in the West and that have just tore it up. But this year, it's really been the spinners that are tearing it up, and the pace bowlers have been a bit mediocre. Some people are actually, and I don't know if you've heard these rumours, some people are placing a little blame on the balls. Apparently between the 2 balls that are used, because there's 1 ball used in the first over which is given away to somebody potentially, and there's the other ball which then comes into play. Now, one has writing on it, one doesn't, one swings, one doesn't. It's all a bit head fuckery, but I think that could just really be conspiracy theorists going mad. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the spin over the success of spin so far this year versus the demise of the fast bowling in the BBL?
Isn't it interesting, though? Like, we've just had 5 tests and 2 of the 5 tests we didn't name a spinner. So it's a little bit interesting that the spinners seem to be the ones that are taking the wickets in the BBL, whereas it obviously not the case for the test series. But look, the other thing I will say is there's not too many teams that are taking 10 wickets either. So whereas I think in the past we've had a lot of teams that are bowled out, this year they're just not getting them. You sort of get 6 for, 7 for, and that's about it. So even the tail enders aren't having to bat anyway. So look, it is a little bit of an interesting situation. I'd love to have a look at the stats come the end of the season because it'll certainly shape how we look at things for next year, I'm sure. But yeah, I think that's interesting in itself that they're running, more teams are bowling a lot more spin than what they ever have before. Like it's almost a 50-50 thing at the moment. I think a lot of the teams are getting through 8 or 9 overs with spin bowling and then going back to their pace attack.
Have you heard this rumour about the balls, Rossco, about the difference between the two balls?
Oh, I haven't heard anything about the balls in regards to helping with spin or anything like that. All I'm sick of hearing is BJ wobbling on friggin' Fox Sports about how he reckons that the ball doesn't swing as much as the ball that they use in the second over or whatever it is, or the first over doesn't swing as much as the other one. And every game the bloody Muppets on there, bloody commentating on Fox Sports, he's always bringing it up and talking about it. So, yeah, I don't know if it affects spin so much. I don't think the ball will be expecting it so much. I think it's the pitches that they're producing, if anything. As we said when we did the podcast the other day, that Optus Stadium's always been a bouncy pitch, great for the fast bowlers, and then they're bowling 16 overs of spin there, Adelaide. So I don't know. I think it also comes down to the batters too, because we've seen these BBL season so far. There's a lot of batters that love the ball coming onto the bat. Yes. So they're bowling a lot more spin to try and get through the overs and slow them, the run rate and stuff down as well. So, you guys like your Matt Shorts and guys like that who really love the ball coming onto the bat, they don't do so well against the spin. So there's a certainly tactical play behind it. There's no doubt about that. But, and also I think it has to come down to the pitches and stuff as well. Yeah. But, again, they've all been very, very different this season as well.
Now, Roy Trappert is asking nothing on Warner. Again, in our article that went out today, Warner wasn't even mentioned. Yes, he has been on fire. Yes, he does have a nice break even. Yes, he is hugely expensive. Why you'd want to consider, personally, I didn't even write a bit about him, why you would want to consider a player from a team that's completely irrelevant. Yes, he has been scoring some runs for when you've got all these other options and double game players. I'm not even, Warner versus Carey. Well, Carey's got 2 player involvements, wicket keeping and opening the batting. I'd much rather go Carey every day of the week.
And also nearly 60k cheaper too.
Well, hugely cheaper.
Yeah.
So, Roy, that's an answer to your nothing on Warner. Well, that's why there's nothing on Warner there.
The other thing is obviously his injury. I think the fact that he didn't field the other day against the Heat, he did cop it on the knee. And, I mean, obviously that's just probably a soreness, a pain tolerance type issue. But if there's any damage in there at all, and like being hit on the knee by a fast bowler, it was pretty intense. But, yeah, anyway, we'll wait and see, I guess. He was certainly uncomfortable at the ground.
This is our last question. I think we'll go over, and we'll just about see us out this podcast. Bergs, Supercoach, long time tragic. Best pod captain if it is washed out. I'm assuming he means it's the double game is sort of washed out. Who then do we going to look for in the single game? There might be a pod captain. So, Tim, first up, put your thinking cap on. Who are you captaining? And in answer to Bergs, who was your best pod captain outside of the Renegades?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Matt Shorts just hit form at the right time. Batted well the other night, last night, I should say. So, yeah, I think you could go there. I don't know, Overton if you wanted to go that way. Mitch Owen. But again, you've got to be really careful because of the weather. Like we talked about, there could be possibility of rain down in Hobart. So this is one round where it's probably going to be make or break, and you're going to have to be switched on, which doesn't help me because I never am. So 6 o'clock's a shit time for me with young kids.
I would definitely be, for myself, I love the question, Bergs. I would be going to the I'd be looking towards probably either a star or a striker. So I don't necessarily mind Stoinis, and I don't necessarily mind Short as well. Steer clear of that Hobart game. Just like, you don't want to captain anything down there. Otherwise, we'll have the same duck eggs on your scorecard as like we got this week. So we've all got to learn from that error this week. And, yeah, probably stick to that. I don't like Western WA playing under the roof. I'd steer clear of them as well. So, yeah, outside of anybody from the Gage, I would be going your and I'll probably VC Southo, to tell you the truth.
I'm gonna now that you've just said that, I'm gonna throw a massive pot option out there for captain this week.
Go
now
for
that
it.
you said that you don't like any Scorchers players, you ready for this one?
Mark?
Nah.
Connolly.
Nah.
Oh, going safe with Hardy.
Thinking Aaron Hardy.
Yeah, it'd be a safe bet, absolutely.
Have a look at his last few scores, right? So his last 4 scores, actually last 5, 98, 175, 56, 70, and 89. Yeah. I just think he's probably not the worst option. Plays the Renegades the last round at Marvel. I reckon he's a big pod play, Berg, for you. If you do own him, I think I don't mind it, to be honest with you. He's batting 4 or 5. He's bowling 4 overs. So I think you could do a lot worse.
Yeah, no, I like it. There's a couple of good suggestions there for you, Bergs. I've gone the Stoin. Timmy's gone possibility on short, and Rossco. I like the Hardy one too. That's not bad at all.
And it's very similar to like I went Ollie Davies last round. Obviously, it didn't work with the rain affected game, but look, that's where I was going. Just the safety net versus, especially once Shorty went 13 in the first game. So I was just purely going for safety.
Yep. Biggest has gone for VC on Sandu, not a bad choice, and captain on short. So he's backing Tim up. Somebody's got to have your back there, Tim.
Oh, someone needs to.
All right. So then who are you all VCing for tonight?
Well, I went Southo.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you've got to go there, or you go someone completely left field like a Fraser McGurk or something like that. If the guy goes off, he's absolutely going to go off. Don't get me wrong, it's not everybody's cup of tea. But if you're balls to the wall and need to make up ground or something nuts, I think Southo or Fraser McGurk would be a good way to go.
I'm actually looking at Hassan Khan at the moment as my VC, but in saying that, I've just seen a stat come up that there's, in the 4 games at NG Stadium this year, the spinners in 42 and a half overs have gone for 420 runs, and there's only been 7 wickets taken in those games that have been played at NG. So that maybe change my mind, but if I bring in Sutherland, I'll probably go on him possibly, but yeah, I really don't know yet. So yeah,
I like that. That's a really good one, folks. Put that in your memory, that bit about Hassan Khan. I did sort of know that, and that's one reason it steered me clear. NG and spinners, and you can get pumped there. Absolutely, you can.
But last year, I'm pretty sure it went back to last season. It was always spin deck, that one.
Yeah,
always. Like you see Chris Green. Like look at Chris Green, for example. Right, this bloke was taking wickets for fun last year. Tambi Sanger was taking wickets for fun. These blokes are struggling to get a wicket this year. Go and have a look at their numbers that they've put out this season, and they're absolutely horrible. You know, there's only certain pitches that are suiting these spinners. So I just think NG's probably going off those numbers that I've just seen, and thanks to Scopes for that. But just seeing those numbers, it's very hard to probably put the VC on him, because I was thinking either him or even Adam Zampa as a VC, but might have to go back into the drawing board and relook at it.
Yeah, I would want Zampa to have at least 1 game under his belt. Look.
And then Sandu, I don't mind either, but again, the short boundaries at that ground could be a concern as well. So I don't know. It might be worth going a bit of a pod play and going a bat only, maybe like a Josh Brown. I don't hate it if you're bringing in Josh Brown and putting him as a VC.
Yeah, it's for the same logic as Fraser McGurk. It's the same sort of thing. If he goes big, then he's going real big.
If you The only thing I'll say about Sandu, and sorry, Biggest, I think he probably is going to be the best option. But his control, particularly on doing the wide Yorkers, is really poor. I don't know if you saw how many wides he can give away. When he misses his control, misses his mark, he's not that flash. And with those, as you just said, Rossco, with those short sideways boundaries, it could be not that pretty for him. But it depends how many overs they get and who's bowling first and who's batting first. That's going to be a big thing for me. Who bats first, who bowls first.
I think in Vigors' case, I think if the Thunder are batting first, I don't mind Vigors as Sandu as a VC. But if they're not batting, if they're batting first, the Gades have got probably wouldn't go Sandu.
Yeah.
Because if they bowl first, it's okay. But if they bat first, and then bloody Warner gets out there and tears them a new one, he may not even bowl his 3 overs, to even get any economy rate or anything either. So certainly going to come down to the toss as to what I do. So yeah.
Oh, it always comes down to a toss.
Scopes has just posted that 32 of the wickets that have been taken at NG Stadium have been to pace bowlers this season. So that's obviously, yeah.
Yeah. So Sandu and Southays look like being hot properties there. All right, folks, I think we'll wrap that up. We've been going nearly long enough for people to get an idea. Go back on the feed if you haven't missed out on some. We had some really good stuff on there earlier. Timo, anything else extra?
No, boys, that's about it. It was supposed to pour down rain all day here in Brizzy, and I've had about 3 spit spots at home, and that's been about it. So, I think tomorrow's forecast is much the same, but then we just checked before we jumped on air, and that's even starting to lighten off now. So, who knows what's going to come with the weather over the next few days. It's gone a bit nuts all over the country at the moment. So, if you're out there, look after each other and stay safe. Be good.
All right, Rossco, anything else?
No, that's it. Just thank you, everyone, again. We've got one more pod to go, which will be Friday, I think it is. And that'll be probably our last one for the season because when the round wraps up. Thanks again to our for Supercoach Championship rings for donation of the ring. I should also mention, too, just quickly, shout out to Rod, the coach of the Rods Runners, who is sitting in 14th overall at the moment. And then you got Jesse, the coach of the Jaguars, sitting in 15th overall. So well done, guys. So, and then I think we got Sam back in about 72nd or close to it. So well done to those guys. And good luck to everyone with your head-to-head finals.
Yeah, good luck, everybody. Keep up the good work, everybody. Till the next podcast. Stay safe, rage, trade your ass off, and have some fun.